Good morning, yogis. My name is Daniel. This is Daniel Lee Yoga, and thank you for joining me for practice today. Class will be a 60-minute vinyasa flow, all levels, and today we will focus on chest and shoulder opening. With it being an all levels class, I'll provide many modifications along the way so that you can find a pace and a structure and a route that works for you today. We will be working on opening our chest and shoulders. I know I keep a lot of stress in my shoulder, especially when working at the computer or just throughout the day. And so I love these shoulder openers that really open up the space, allow us to breathe, allow us to really relieve a lot of tension here. So what will come in handy for class today is if you just have a strap, a belt, an old shirt. I just have this old bag, just something to help us create a connection. You may not need it depending on your mobility, but if you do have something, just keep it nearby for class. Thank you all for checking in. Ellen, so nice to have you here from Cape May. I know you're sending some nice, good beach type of vibes as well, so just happy to have you here. All right, today we will get started in a cross-legged seat. So I want you to take a moment, take a couple seconds to find your seat with your legs crossed, ankles underneath your knees, sit bones rooted to the mat, and just kind of move around, allow yourself to settle here. We'll be beginning class here for a couple minutes, so just find a nice comfortable seat. With your legs crossed, if your knees are way up, or if you even feel like you're falling back and you need to hold on, what can help is placing some elevation underneath your sit bones, either a block if you have it, or just rolling up your mat or placing a towel underneath. That can be nice to keep your spine nice and long, so that you don't have to stress yourself out holding yourself here. All right, just start to find and settle yourself here in your space. And as we settle and find ease in this posture, Sukhasana, easy, content pose, we'll begin class with some very gentle breathing exercises. Good morning, Coney. Allow your hands to rest wherever they feel most natural, maybe on your knees, perhaps on your lap, or if you'd like to keep them at the center of your chest. Any option is fine. So during these breathing exercises, it's just a very simple methodology where our exhales will be twice as long as our inhales. Feel free to follow along with me through the next minute or two as I gently increase the pace. And if that pace ever becomes too much for you, just dial it back, do whatever works for you, follow along your own pace. The only idea here is to have our exhales be twice as long as our inhales. Another option, if you'd like to breathe in and out through your nose, but if anything becomes more natural as far as breathing in through your nose, out through your mouth, feel free to take that option that works for you. If you're following along with me, try to breathe just through your nostrils, keeping your lips together. Okay, settling in here, take a nice deep inhale and exhale. One more inhale before we begin and exhale. All right, let's begin. So inhale through the nose, 3, 2, 1. Exhale through the nose, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. If you're coming along with me, this next one will increase our inhales and exhales. So we'll inhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Remember to go at a pace that works for you. We have a couple more rounds here. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Last one coming up. Inhale, exhale. After this last exhale, we'll take a nice deep inhale and hold. 3, 2, 1. Nice deep inhale. Fill up the chest, fill up the lungs, and hold for just 3, 2, 1. And exhale, let it all go. Exhale, exhale, exhale. Well done. You can return to normal breathing. Gently blink your eyes open if they were closed. And just take a moment to feel what you've built so far, just with your simple breath work. Okay, we'll maintain a cross-legged seat, but switch whichever shin is in front. So we'll switch, bringing the ankles back underneath the knees. Keep rooting down through your sit bones. Nice long spine by raising up through the crown of your head, softening the shoulders down away from the ears. You need to warm up the arms, so releasing the arms down by the sides. Take a nice deep inhale as you raise your arms out and up overhead, palms face each other. Exhale, release the arms out and down. 3 more times, just like that. Inhale, raise the arms out and up overhead. And exhale, release the arms out and down. 2 more times. Inhale, raise the arms out and up overhead. Exhale, release out and down. Once more, inhale, arms up overhead. And exhale, release the arms out and down. Add a twist. So inhale, raise the arms out and up overhead. Exhale, twist to your right, release the arms down to the sides, hold for just a half breath. And on your inhale, come back through center, both arms overhead, palms face each other. Exhale, opposite side, left side, release the arms down. Inhale, coming back through center, arms overhead. One more time. Exhale, twist to the right, hold for a half breath. Inhale, back up through center, both arms overhead. And exhale, release out and down to the left. Inhale, come back through center. And exhale, hands down through center and down to the sides. All right, interlace your fingers behind your back. Once your fingers are interlaced, bring the wrist to touch and try to maybe straighten your arms a little bit. If you're unable to interlace your fingers behind your back, just use your strap or your spare towel or whatnot that you may have. Just make that connection. Try to draw your shoulders down away from your chest. Draw the belly in, navel draws in and up, lifting those front bottom ribs, softening them down. A little bit of neck work. So begin by dropping your chin to your chest. First direction. So we'll roll our right ear towards our right shoulder, let the chin come with it. Then we'll gently drop our head back. As your head rolls through center, gaze is up. Then left ear to left shoulder. Chin drops down to the chest. Come through center. One more time this direction. Right ear, right shoulder. Head drops back as you gaze up. Come through center. Left ear, left shoulder. Gently drop your chin down and pause in the center. We'll move the opposite direction. So now left ear, left shoulder with your chin to your chest. Head gently drops back. Make these nice and slow. Gentle as you come through center. Right ear, right shoulder. Let the chin drop down, come through center. One more time this direction. Left ear, left shoulder. Let the head gently drop back. Gaze up as you come through center. Right ear, right shoulder. Drop the chin down, come through center. Pause here for a moment. And then release the arms. Chin comes back to parallel to the mat. Take a nice deep inhale. And exhale. All right, moving right into tabletop so you can either roll over your knees or send your legs off to the side. Bring our wrists underneath our shoulders, the fingers nice and spread, knees underneath the hips, tops of the feet to the mat. So hips, knees, and ankles all in one line. Wrists are a little bit farther apart, right underneath your shoulders. Have your wrist creases lined up with the short edge of the mat or maybe slightly turned down. Firm those upper arms in so the elbow creases start to face forward. If you were to bend your elbows would bend right back. Drawing the navel in and up to keep the spine nice and long. Tailbone draws down as the crown of the head draws forward. Gaze is up towards the top of your mat. Take a nice deep inhale and exhale. Some cow cats. On your inhale, let's drop the navel, send the heart forward. Inhale as you gaze up. And exhale, round the back, cat pose, shoulders separate, crown of the head draws down. Keep moving on your breath. Inhale, send the heart forward, gaze up. And exhale, round the back, shoulders separate, head hangs heavy. 3 more times on your breath, nice and slow and controlled here. Gentle movements warming up the spine. Keeping the arms engaged. If you tend to hyperextend, just have a slight bend in your elbows here. And after your last cat pose, let's meet back in a nice neutral spine. In your tabletop position, dropping your elbows right where your wrists are. So coming down to a forearm tabletop, elbows underneath the shoulders. Wrists and forearms are still parallel. Here, cat, cow as well. So inhale as you drop the navel, heart forward, look up. Exhale, round the back. Keep moving 3 more times on your breath. Notice how this might feel a little different. This might involve a little more shoulder engagement. Perhaps it's a little easier on your wrists. Gentle press of the shins and the tops of the feet just to bring a little weight out of your arms. And when you finish your last cat pose, again, just meet back in a tabletop on your forearms. And from here, we'll come down to our belly. So extend the right leg back, extend the left leg back, and gently lower all the way down onto your belly. Cross your palms on top of your elbows, make a little pillow for your forehead. And just gently let your chest, the tops of your legs fall down to the mat. Take a couple deep breaths here on your chest. One more breath. Okay, release your forehead or your nose or your chin to the mat and extend your arms. Bring your fingers and your wrists next to your rib cage so that your wrists are directly below your elbows. Now you may need to pop your head up and look back. A lot of times the wrists are a lot farther forward, so make sure those wrists are directly underneath the elbows. with the elbows bending back, moving through just a very gentle and slow baby cobra. So again, fingers are nice and spread, wrists underneath the elbows, very important. Make sure the tops of your feet are to the mat and are hips width distance. So they're not together, they're not very far apart, they're about hips width distance. So hips, knees, and ankles are still all in one line. Now press the tops of your feet into the mat so that the knees and the thighs start to raise off the mat, but your hips still stay down. Now in a moment, we'll raise up. So keep pressing down through all four corners of your hands equally. So not just the front, not just the back, all four corners of those palms. And on your next inhale, just lift and raise just your front ribs, just your heart and your head up. So you're keeping your low bottom ribs on the mat, drawing the tailbone down towards the backs of the heels. And if your elbows start to flare out, draw the elbows in, broaden through the collarbones, keeping the shoulders over the wrists. Try to imagine yourself gaining more length here rather than height. Hold for one more breath in your baby cobra. And exhale, gently lower the forehead, chin, or nose to the mat. We'll repeat that one more time. Just first release everything. Keep your arms right where they are, but release your knees down. So no tension in the legs, no tension in the neck. Take a nice deep inhale and exhale. All right, my apologies if there was any disconnection. Just we'll all meet in downward facing dog. And taking a couple moments to just pedal out your legs. Find some movement that works for you. Maybe you lift one heel, lift the other. Perhaps you lift one leg and lift the other. Find some movement in your down dog, keeping your arms shoulder width distance, feet hips width distance. And now on your inhale, bend your knees. Exhale, walk or step to the top of your mat. Stay in your forward fold. Feet are hips width distance, nice and parallel, so the heels are directly behind those center toes. Let the crown of your head hang down. Grab opposite elbows. Knees can bend as much as you like. Maybe you rest your chest on your thighs and just allow yourself to settle here. If you're one that likes to sway side to side, you can take that option as well in your ragdoll pose. Just keep softening those shoulders away from the ears. Switch and grab opposite elbows, bringing the opposite forearm on top, and keep swaying side to side. All right, coming back through center, we'll still stay down in a nice forward fold with the knees healthily bent, but this time extend the arms behind your back, interlace your fingers again, or grab your strap if you need it. If your fingers are interlaced, bring your wrists to touch. Begin to extend your arms, draw your shoulders away from your ears, and maybe you start to straighten the knees, letting the crown of your head draw down a little closer to the mat. Perhaps your fingers draw up closer to the sky or maybe towards the floor. Hold for one more breath here. Now stay in your forward fold. Remember which thumb is on top. Release and let your arms hang down for a moment. Slight bend in the knees just to reset. Then we'll take the arms behind our back again. Bring the opposite thumb on top. If you don't remember, it's probably what feels the least habitual. So interlace the fingers or grab your strap in both arms. Bring the wrists together. Try to straighten your arms and then lift the wrists off your back. Shoulders draw away from the ears. Keep pressing down evenly through all four corners of the feet. Shoulders draw away from the ears. Let the crown of the head draw down. Maybe you start to straighten your knees here. One more breath. And gently release the arms down. Press down through all four corners of the feet. And start to roll up your spine. Coming up to standing nice and slow, stacking one vertebrae at a time. No rush here. Nice and slow, stacking one at a time. And once you've come up to standing, inhale, bring both arms out and up overhead. And exhale, hands down through center, down to the sides. One more time. Inhale, arms out and up overhead. And exhale, hands down through center and down to the sides. Take a moment, find yourself at the top of your mat in your Tadasana pose. Just check to make sure we're okay here. I think we had a little interruption earlier, but at the top of your mat, have your feet hips width distance, arms down to the side, palms face forward. Press down through all four corners of your feet. Try to lift the kneecaps up towards the hip sockets, drawing the tailbone down, lifting these frontal hip points up. All right, now stay at the top of your mat. Keep your feet hips width distance, but inhale, bring both arms out and up overhead. Have the palms face each other. Now, we'll bend the left elbow, grab the right shoulder if you can, or close to the right forearm. Bend the right elbow, grab the left elbow with the right palm. So see if you can see this here, just so you can see. Stay standing. We're grabbing the elbow of one hand. So right palm grabs that left elbow with the left palm either to the low back or to the right shoulder or forearm. Now keep drawing the tailbone down. We'll add a slight side lean here. So take a nice deep inhale as you prepare. Exhale, side bend to the right. Really draw that left elbow, left shoulder up. Create some length here. Avoid crunching into the right side rib so we're equally lengthening on both sides. Really pressing down through that left foot. Hold here for one more breath. Inhale, use your abdominals to lift yourself back up. Extend both arms back up towards the sky, palms face each other. Now bend the right elbow, bring that right palm to the left forearm, shoulder, or back of the neck. Bend the left elbow, grab that right elbow with the left palm. So take a nice deep inhale as you prepare here. Exhale, side bend to the left side again. Really press down through that right foot to keep yourself rooted. Keep your shoulders and your pelvis facing forward, so avoid twisting here. Use your abdominal muscles to keep yourself stable, still drawing that tailbone down. Hold for one more breath. And inhale, lift yourself back up through center. Bring both arms up overhead. And then exhale, hands down through center and down to the sides. Inhale, bring the arm out and up, back overhead. And exhale, hands down through center and down to the sides. All right. Make sure you're still at the top of your mat, feet hips width distance, arms down to the side. On your inhale, raise the arms out and up overhead. Exhale, hinge forward, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. And exhale, forward fold. Plant your palms, step your right foot back, step your left foot back into plank pose. Keeping your shoulders over your wrist, fingers nice and spread. Always have the option to drop your knees down. But either way, draw the tailbone towards the backs of the heels. Arms are shoulder width distance, feet are hips width distance, just like in our tabletop. Shoulders stay over the wrists. Firm the outer upper arms in so the elbow creases face forward. Protract the shoulder blades, nice like turtle back. Really slight rounding here, chin slightly tucks. Hold for one more breath. And now everyone drop down to your knees. Keep your toes tucked. Bend your elbows back as you shift forward. Lower all the way to the mat, all in one piece. Bring the tops of your feet to the mat, just like before when we practiced our baby cobra. So press the tops of the feet down. Knees may start to lift off the mat. Keep your hips down, draw the elbows in, and on your inhale, lift your head up, chest up, baby cobra. Take a peek. Are your wrists still underneath your shoulders, fingers facing forward, elbows drawing back? Really send your heart forward, tailbone draws back. One more breath here in your baby cobra. And exhale, gently release. Curl the toes under. Now lift yourself up through tabletop. Keep the knees down, bring the tops of your feet down. Send your hips back to your heels. Come into a child's pose. In your child's pose, release your forehead down. Arms extend straight out in front of you. Try to maintain the knees and the feet hips width distance. We're here for 2 breaths. One more breath in your child's pose. All right, moving into puppy pose. So lifting your forehead up. Keep your knees down, but lift your hips so that they're on top of your knees. Once you have that, begin to extend your arms out even further, keeping your forearms and your elbows down. So the trick here is to keep your hips above your knees. They always want to rock forward or back. So keep them directly over your knees, and then just walk your hands out to your capacity until you can release your forehead down to the mat or to a block. Maybe your chin rests on the mat, or maybe you can rest even your chest on the mat. The idea here is to really feel this in your shoulders. So start to extend your arms out even further away, but make it restorative by just allowing yourself to sink into the mat. Keep drawing that tailbone down so belly draws in and up. Gentle press of the tops of the feet and the shins into the mat. Hold here for 2 more breaths in our puppy pose. This is a great alternative to a down dog, or if you want to up your child's pose game a little bit as well. All right, gently start to walk your hands back as you lift your forehead up. Keep your knees stacked over, your hips stacked over your knees. So we're lifting and we're walking up, having our torso up, bringing our hands to our hips. Now make sure you have your knees and your hips and your shoulders all in one line, drawing the tailbone down, but a gentle back bend here. So send your arms behind you and place your hands to your low back so the fingers are down and the pinkies are touching. Elbows draw in, shoulders draw down. Now your chest may already be puffing out. Try to reduce that by drawing the tailbone down, lifting those frontal hip points up, softening the front bottom ribs. Now add a gentle back bend with the support of our hands. So take a nice deep inhale to prepare. And exhale, gently let your head back, but keep pressing your hands into your low back, drawing the elbows in towards each other. Fire up the glutes, press down through the tops of the shins and the feet, and try to raise the heart up towards the sky as you gently add your back bend. Keep that length, use the support of your hands. One more breath. Use your abdominal muscles to inhale as you lift yourself back up, and exhale. One more time. So keeping the hands at the low back, fingers down, pinkies in towards each other, elbows draw in. Take a nice deep inhale as you prepare. Exhale, lift the heart up towards the sky. Draw the shoulder blades down away from the ears, elbows draw in. Really fire up those abdominal muscles to keep you nice and safe and stable in that low back. For one more breath. Now inhale as you lift yourself back up. Release your arms, bring the arms out and up overhead. And exhale, hands down through center and down to the sides. Sorry, just a little bit of wrist work while we're here. You can stay on your knees. You can come back to a seat if that's a little more comfortable. Find a seat that works for you. Interlace your fingers together. Bring the wrists to touch, elbows close to each other, and start to make your wrist circles. First direction. All right, slow it down. Let's move in the opposite direction. Okay, remember which thumb is on top. Release the fingers. Re-intersect with the opposite thumb on top. Bring the wrists together. Bring the elbows together and start to make your circles. First direction. Nice controlled movements here. And slow it down. Let's move in the opposite direction. Okay, gently slow. Release your hands back through tabletop. All right, now in our tabletop, we'll extend the right leg out to the side and see if you can turn the toes to face away. So we're starting to open up the hip here. So toes face away. You can start by having your right knee bent and then walk your hands back to where we kind of were before, where we're on our knee. Again, if this has been a little too much for your knee, just roll up, add a little more padding just to give you a little more support. So pelvis and shoulders stay forward, knee and toes face out away from your body. So keep drawing this right knee away. Now, right arm extends down that right leg. And inhale as you lift your left arm up to the sky. Take a nice deep inhale. And exhale, side bend over that right leg. Now, if you'd like, you can start to walk those right toes away from your body, but keep the left knee, hip all in one line and just create some nice length here. Now, keeping the left bicep next to the ear, maybe you start to rotate your neck to look up towards the sky. We're here for 3 to 4 more breaths. Option to advance is to bring your right arm internally rotate so that the back of your right hand comes to your low back, and maybe it extends even further down to touch your outer left thigh. Really try to drop the right shoulder though, keeping the heart lifting up towards the sky. Keep that length, hold for one more breath here. And then on your next inhale, lift your torso up, lift both arms back up towards the sky, palms face each other. Exhale, hands down through center. Release your hands down, release your knees down, back to knees down, tabletop. Recenter your hips, and we'll move to the other side. So extend the left leg out to the side, left knee and toes face away from your body, so they may need to start with the knee bent. Walk your hands back, lifting your torso up, and adding some more support under that right knee if needed. So you have your knee and your hip and your right shoulder to start all in one line. Keep opening this left knee out to the side with the knee and the toes facing away. And then left arm comes down that left knee, shin, or thigh. Right arm up to the sky, palm faces in. Take a nice deep inhale as you prepare. Then exhale, side bend this left side, walking the left fingertips down. Keep the right bicep next to the right ear. Pelvis and shoulders still face forward here. Again, if you'd like, maybe you start to walk those left toes out a little more. Just keep that left hip above that, or that right hip above that right knee. Now, option here is to add your bind. So take your left arm behind you, place the back of your left hand to the low back, and maybe go a little further with that left hand touching the outer right thigh. Perhaps turning your neck to look up towards the sky, holding here for one more breath. And then inhale as you lift yourself back up, bring both arms up overhead. Exhale, hands down through center, return back to your tabletop. From your tabletop, extend the right leg back, extend the left leg back into your plank pose. Let's lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. 3 breaths in your down dog. Arms are shoulder width distance, feet are hips width distance. Starting with your knees bent, pressing your chest back toward your thighs, and then maybe start to straighten your legs. Keep drawing the heels back and down towards the mat. One more breath here. Now inhale as you gaze forward. Bend your knees, exhale, walk your step to the top of the mat, feet hips width distance. Inhale as you lift halfway, place your hands to the tops of your shins, nice flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Press down through your feet, inhale, raise your arms out and up overhead. And exhale, hands down through center and down to the sides. Take a nice deep inhale and exhale. One more inhale and exhale. All right, here we go. Inhale, raise the arms out and up overhead. Exhale, hinge forward, forward fold. Inhale as you lift halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Plant your palms. Step your right foot back, step your left foot back, plank pose. Lower your knees to the mat. Shift forward. Bend the elbows lower all the way to the mat. Tops of the feet down. Press your feet down, hips down. Inhale, lift up. Baby cobra. Now we'll hold here for 3 breaths. If you like, you can take the option for full cobra. So keep drawing the elbows in, straightening the arms, lifting your ribs and your hips off the mat. You keep the knees down, keep hugging the ankles in, and make sure those wrists are still directly underneath the shoulders, sending the heart forward, shoulders draw away from the ears. Now bend the elbows, lower all the way back down to the mat. Curl the toes under, keep the knees down, press yourself up through knees down plank pose, and then lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog. We'll have 2 to 3 more vinyasas in class. Feel free to follow along with just those couple of strung together poses as we advance throughout class, or you can take whatever option that works for you. Take one more breath in your down dog. And now inhale as you gaze forward. Bend your knees, exhale, walk your step to the top of the mat. Feet hips width distance. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Press down through your feet. Inhale, raise the arms out and up overhead. And exhale, hands down through center and down to the sides. All right. Setting up for tree pose. So start with your feet hips width distance apart, arms down to the side. Actually, bring your hands to your hips. Thumbs behind, fingers in front. Use your thumb to draw your tailbone down, fingers to lift those frontal hip points up. Starting with the left leg. So shift weight into that right foot. Open the left knee out to the side, bend the left knee. First option, keep the left toes down, bottom of the left foot into the right shin. Maybe lift your toes off the mat, or perhaps you bring your bottom of the left foot into your right thigh above the knee. Keep opening that left knee out to the side, but keep the hips and the shoulders facing forward. Really firm this front thigh in, pressing down through the back, the bottom foot, right foot that's grounded. Really root down and rise up through the crown of your head. And if you like, place your hands to the center of your chest. Find your balance here. Final option, if you'd like, raise your arms out and up overhead. Palms face each other. 2 more breaths here. Again, if you fall out of your tree pose, just come right back in. Last breath here. And exhale, release your hands down through center. Release that left leg down to meet the right, arms down to the side. Shake it out a bit. We'll move to the other side. Start with your feet hips width distance, arms down to the side, palms face forward. Bring your hands to your hips now. Thumbs draw the tailbone down, fingers lift the frontal hip points up. Open the right knee out to the side. Right toes can either stay on the ground, they can lift up, or you can bring the bottom of that right foot into the left thigh. Either way, right knee draws away. Keep the hips and the shoulders squared forward. Keep drawing the tailbone down. Firm this front thigh in as you press down through that left heel. If you'd like, add your arms to the center of your chest, thumb to the sternum. Keep softening the shoulders away from the ears. And if you'd like, grow your branches, raise your arms up overhead. Even with your arms up overhead, soften the shoulders down. Find your balance for 1 more breath here. And exhale as you release your hands down, release your leg down, and come into a wide-legged stance. So opening the legs out nice and wide. But keep the feet parallel, so heels are still directly behind those center toes. Bring your hands to your hips. Use your thumb to draw your tailbone down, fingers to lift the frontal hip points up. And now, release the arms behind you, interlace the fingers. Again, if they don't interlace, use the strap in between both hands. Bring the wrist to touch, start to straighten your arms. Now your chest may pop out, so again, draw the tailbone down, lift those frontal hip points up, belly draws in and up. Keep drawing the shoulders away from the ears. In a moment, we'll add a forward fold. First, begin by inhaling, sending your heart to the sky, create length in your spine. Exhale, keep that length as you hinge forward into your forward fold. And really firm the thighs in towards the midline. Keep yourself stable. You can gently let your head drop. Keep your chin slightly tucked. Crown of the head may draw down towards the floor. And keep lifting the arms up and off your back. Shoulders draw away from the ears. We'll hang out here for 2 to 3 breaths. Keep shifting the weight into the toes, but keep the heels on the mat. Slight bend in the knees if you need to, especially if you tend to hyperextend. 1 more breath here. And then gently release the arms down so the wrists are underneath the shoulders, elbows bend back. Lift up halfway, torso parallel to the mat. Slight bend in the knees, hands to the hips, and lift your torso back up to standing. Heel toe the feet back in. And let's come back to the top of our mat. Feet hips width distance, arms down to the side, palms face forward. Take a nice deep inhale and exhale. All right, press down through your feet. Inhale, raise the arms out and up overhead. And exhale, hinge forward, forward fold. Inhale as you lift halfway, nice long spine. Exhale, forward fold. Plant your palms. Keep your left foot forward. Step your right foot back in your low lunge here. Now, right wrist underneath the right shoulder. Left arm extends straight out to the side. Palm faces down. And on your inhale, bring the left fingertips up towards the sky. Now, option to stay here, or if you'd like to add your bind with that left arm, internally rotate. Bend that left elbow, place the left hand to the low back, or perhaps it goes a little further towards that right thigh. Really open that left shoulder up to the sky, revolve, dropping the right shoulder down. Open up the chest here. Hold for one more breath as the gaze looks up towards the sky. Get a little lighter off those right fingertips. And then re-extend the left arm up to the sky. Release the left arm down. Stay back in your low lunge. Dropping the right heel down, setting up for warrior two. So left toes face forward, right toes face the long edge side. Bring the left arm to the inside, right arm up to the sky. Press down through your feet. Inhale, lift up into your warrior two. Now settle into your warrior two pose. Right toes face the long edge, left toes face the short edge. Heel to arch alignment or slightly wider. Square the shoulders to the long edge side. Extend the arms straight out, palms face down. Keep firming the front thigh in and under, drawing this bent left knee towards the pinky side edge of that front foot. Softening the shoulders down away from the ears, palms face down. Turning your neck to look over those left fingertips. Take a nice deep inhale and exhale. Keep the low body just as it is, setting up for side angle pose. Extend the left arm forward, let the torso come with it, and then release the left arm to the inside, right arm up to the sky. With the right palm facing forward. Again, you have some options here. You can stay right here or add a bind. So right arm internally rotates, the palm starts to face back. Bend the right elbow, so the back of the right hand either comes to the low back, or perhaps you can tuck it underneath and inside that left thigh. Keep opening the chest here, broadening through the collarbones. Really press down through that left heel. Press back through the outer edge of that right foot. Options to advance here if you'd like. Maybe you have your bind and you extend your left arm forward so the palm faces up. Maybe you have your bind with the left arm forward. Really engage that front thigh. Firm it out. Firm the outer thigh in and under. Hold for one more breath. Release that left arm back to the left thigh. Release the bind, right arm back up to the sky. And then lift yourself back up to warrior two. Straighten that front leg. Release the right arm down to the right thigh. Left arm up to the sky. Reverse your warrior with that front leg straightened. And then exhale, come back up through warrior two. And then revolve both arms to either side of that left foot. Come up on the back right heel. Send the left foot to meet the right foot. Vinyasa through or skip it. Knees down or up as you shift forward. Bend your elbows lower all the way to the mat. Bring the tops of the feet down. Press your feet down, hips down. Inhale, lift up, back bend of choice, baby cobra or full cobra. Exhale as you gently release. Roll the toes under. And lift yourself up and back to downward facing dog. Come through tabletop first if you need to. 2 breaths in or down dog. Keep pressing the chest back towards your thighs. 1 more breath here. All right, inhale as you gaze forward. Bend your knees. Exhale, walk or step to the top of the mat. Inhale as you lift halfway. And exhale, forward fold. Press down through your feet. Inhale, raise the arms out and up overhead. Exhale, hands down through center and down to the side. Other side. Inhale, arms out and up overhead. Exhale, hinge forward, forward fold. Inhale as you lift halfway. And exhale, forward fold. Plant your palms down. This time, step your left foot back. Low lunge. So right knee over right ankle. Make sure right toes are on the right side, left toes are on the left side. Drop your left wrist so it's underneath your left shoulder. Right arm extends straight out to the side. Take an inhale to prepare. Exhale, twist from the navel up through the shoulders. Head and neck are the last thing to rotate. So right arm is up to the sky. Now, staying here, option to add your bind. Internally rotate that right arm, bend the right elbow so the back of the right hand comes to the low back. Maybe you can go a little further, right fingertips touch that left thigh. Either way, broaden through the collarbones. Really open the chest, revolving. Left arm under, right arm over. Maybe the neck looks up towards the sky for one more breath. And then inhale the right arm back up towards the sky. Exhale, release that right arm down back into your low lunge. All right, setting up for warrior two. So drop the left heel down, right arm to the inside of that right foot, left arm up to the sky, press down through your feet, and inhale, lift up into your warrior two pose. Again, settle in, find your foundation. Left toes face the long edge side, right toes face the short edge side. Heel to arch alignment or slightly wider. Square the shoulders to the long edge side of your mat. With that front right knee bent, the right knee draws towards that pinky side edge. Extend the arms out to a nice T, palms face down. Shoulders soften away from the ears and turn your neck to look over those right fingertips. Nice strong warrior here. Take a nice deep inhale and exhale. All right, keep the low body just as it is throughout this whole sequence now. Extend the right arm forward. Let the torso come with it. When you can't go any further, release the right arm to the right thigh. Left arm overhead, left fingertips to the sky, palm faces forward. Now, option to stay right here, or if you want to add your bind, internally rotates the left palm faces back, bend that left elbow, back of the left hand to the low back, or perhaps it tucks underneath and wraps into the inside edge of that right thigh. Either way, keep revolving and firming that right thigh in and under, opening the chest up towards the sky. Stay here, or if you like, really firm up, press down through that right heel and extend the right arm forward, palm faces up. Really revolve here, pressing down through that right heel. Press back through the outer edge of that left foot. 2 more breaths, whatever option you're taking. Really firm up, really revolve. 1 more breath here. Nice deep breath. And then release the right arm to that right thigh. Left arm back up to the sky. Press down through your feet, lift up into your warrior two. Straighten the front leg, release the left arm down, right arm up to the sky, side bend, reverse your warrior with that front leg straight. Then lift yourself back up, rebend that knee into your warrior two. Spiral both arms forward and down to either side of that right foot. Send the right foot to meet the left foot. Last vinyasa. Knees down or up as you shift forward. Bend your elbows lower all the way or halfway down. Tops of the feet down. Inhale, lift up into your back bend. Maybe full cobra or maybe upward facing dog with your knees off the mat. Curl the toes under. Lift your hips up and back. Meet in down dog. Stay in your down dog for 2 to 3 breaths. Keep pressing your chest back towards your thighs. Last breath here. And then inhale as you gaze forward. We'll stay low, so gently lower your knees down to the mat. Bring the tops of your feet down. And then shift forward, lower your entire torso onto the mat. So that back kind of when we started class, we'll be back on our chest, tops of the feet to the mat, forehead, nose, or chin rest on the mat. Now extend your arms out to a T shape, palms face down. Starting with the right side. So bend the right knee, lift the right leg up, and then start to open and release the bottom of the right foot behind the left knee. Now your right shoulder starts to pop up. Try to keep your left shoulder rooted in the bottom of the left palm to the mat. We're really trying to open up the left shoulder here. So as you lie on your left side, right knee bends, and if the right knee bent with the bottom of the right foot on behind the left knee is a little too much, just stay on your left side, stacking your legs on top of each other. Now from here, maybe you start to walk your right hand a little bit closer. You should really feel this opening that left shoulder. Should be nice and open here, so you'll definitely feel it. Resting the left side of your head on the mat. Just allow yourself to sink into this pose for 3 to 4 slow, deep breaths. If you like, come back to that breathing we started class where your exhales are twice as long as your inhales. Take one more breath here. And then gently release back, slowly back onto your belly. Arms out to a T shape. Take a nice deep breath here. And then we'll switch to the other side. So keep the right arm, right palm rooted, and roll over onto your right side. You can either stack your legs on top of each other, stay here, or bend the left knee. Place the bottom of the left foot behind that right knee. As you walk that left palm in a little closer, let the side of your right head just rest on the mat. Really feel this opening that right shoulder. And take 3 to 4 slow, deep breaths here. All right, gently re-extend both legs if that left knee is bent. Slowly rotate back in through center, back on your chest. From here, bring your wrists back towards your shoulders. Keep your knees down. Lift yourself up and come into your Virasana pose. Knees together, top to the feet together. Send your hips back to your heels with your torso up. If this is too uncomfortable, you can place a block in between your feet, separating them out wide. You can place a towel in between your hips and your knees, or if you'd like, just come back to a cross-legged seat. Now, adding the option to have one more bind today, so grabbing your strap, your old towel, or anything you may have that may help you create a connection here. So the way this works, I'll just turn so you can see. So you're in your nice comfortable seat, in either in Virasana or Sukhasana. Now extend both arms out to the side. Internally rotate your left arm so the palm faces back. Externally rotate your right arm so opposite way, right arm faces up. Bend the elbows, bring the back of the left hand to the low back. Bring the right palm to the back of the neck. And then maybe see here if you need your towel or your strap to make that connection. You can also just grab onto your shirt, or maybe you have the mobility to interlace the fingers or clasp the fingers just to create whatever connection you can. Now your chest may puff out, so try to draw your belly in and up. Gently pressing the back of the head into that right forearm. So elbows draw away from each other. Keep drawing the tailbone down so we still want a nice long spine here. Now, option to stay right here, or if you'd like, you can add a forward fold. So again, if you're just content where you are, stay right there. Otherwise, to go a little deeper, you can add your forward fold. So whether you're in Virasana or Sukhasana, take a nice deep inhale and exhale. Keep the length and send your heart forward, gently and slowly lowering to the mat. You can release your forehead to the mat or to a block or to a towel, whatever may be available for you. We're holding here just for 2 breaths to make them nice, slow, and deep breaths. Last breath here. All right, press down through your feet and inhale as you lift and slowly draw your chest back up so your torso is back over your hips. Gently release the connection to your fingers or to your strap. Let the arms extend out wide and release the arms down to the side. Okay, we'll switch to the other side this time. So extend the arms out. Internally rotate the right arm. Externally rotate the left arm. Bend the elbows so back of the right hand comes to the low back and left palm comes to the top of the neck. Now, you can either use the shirt that you have on just to grab onto. You can use a strap if you may have it. You can use a belt. Or again, if you have the flexibility to grab the fingers, make whatever connection you can. Gently drawing the navel in and up. Draw the tailbone down. And elbows gently draw away from each other. Stay here for a couple breaths. In a moment, we'll have the option to add our forward fold. All right, wherever you are, if you're adding your forward fold, take a nice deep inhale. And exhale as you gently and slowly lower, sending your heart forward, keeping the length in your spine. Maintain that connection of your fingers or on the strap, and lower your forehead to the mat or to a block. Stay here for 2 slow, deep breaths. And gently start to lift your torso back up nicely and slow. Release the clasp of your fingers or your strap. Let your arms hang down. And just gently give your arms and shoulders a shake here. All right, place your strap off to the side. Send your legs off to the side. Legs are out in front of you now. With your arms by your hips, bend your knees, send your hips up closer to your heels. We'll gently lower onto our backs. So hold onto your shins or your thighs, gently lower onto your back. Once you've lowered down, draw your knees into your chest. Wrap your hands around your shins or your thighs. Draw your knees in nice and close. Let's lift the back of the head and the shoulders off the mat. So come into an egg shape. Try and squeeze everything together here. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And exhale, release and extend. Extend the legs long. Extend the arms long overhead. Point the toes away from the body. Extend the fingertips nice and long. Full body stretch, stretch, stretch. And exhale, release. Arms down to the sides, palms face up. Legs nice and long, let the knees and the feet fall out to the side. Settle in to our final pose of practice, Shavasana. If you prefer any other variation, perhaps blocks under the knees, maybe bring the bottoms of the feet together, let the knees fall off to the side. Whatever variation you take to complete your practice, just allow yourself to find ease in this posture. Always have the option to soften your gaze or close your eyes completely. Taking a final scan of your body from the toes up through the crown of your head. Identify any last little bits of area of tension and see if you can soften by sending your breath to those areas. Allow yourself to release and just melt into the mat here. Finding comfort and finding peace. All right, let's begin to bring some awareness back into your body. Extending your legs nice and long, beginning to wiggle your fingers and your toes, rotating your wrists and your ankles, and switch directions in those rotations. Now come back to stillness for one last breath here on your mat. Now slowly and gently bend your knees, draw them into your chest as you roll over to one side of your body. Stacking your knees, stacking your arms. Stay for a breath on your side. Now try to keep your eyes softened as you use your top arm to press yourself up into a comfortable cross-legged seat to complete your practice today. In your comfortable seat, you can rest your palms on tops of your knees. Palms can face up, or bring your hands into the center of your chest. Let's all take a nice deep inhale in together. Through the mouth, exhale. Thank you for joining me for your practice today. The light and love in me acknowledges and honors the light and love in each one of you. Thank you. Peace. All right. Thank you all so much for joining me. I appreciate you bearing with the couple of technical difficulties. That's just the island and living in the DR. You kind of take what you get as far as the internet. So thank you. I appreciate your patience working through the little hiccups we had throughout class. But hopefully you enjoyed. Hopefully your shoulders and your chest are feeling nice and open. I know mine are. So take that feeling, just envelop yourself with it, be nice and open throughout the day and the rest of your week. If you ever have any questions, you can always reach out to me in the chat. Like, thank you, Ellen, for checking in this morning. I hope you enjoy the rest of your time. If you're having a little vacation up there in Cape May, that's so nice. You can also find other ways to reach out to me in the video description and the comments. I'll always check there as any questions or feedback or suggestions come in. I appreciate all of you that share that with me. And oh, Gail, you're here as well. Thank you. Ellen, thank you. Appreciate, yes, you bearing with it and sticking with it. So thank you. You all are troopers for sure. So enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy the rest of your week. Hope you had a great July 4th this past weekend. And I will see you next time in class next Wednesday. So take care, and I appreciate you so much. Thank you. Again, my name is Daniel. Peace.